Okay YouTube, we are back again for our third video here. Unbelievable. First thing I want to start off with is a big thank you to you guys. The amount of comments and questions and advice you've put out there is truly amazing. The likes that you've clicked and the subscribers. I think I was looking for 5 initially, and we are well over that at this point. So thank you guys, I appreciate it. You know, the reason I started this channel was to try and fill in the gaps of the information out there that I couldn't find myself. So when I finally got the bike, I thought that I would do these types of videos to try and fill in those pieces for you guys as well. So keep the comments coming in, keep asking the questions. If you guys are giving advice to another person looking in to get the information, yeah, do it. That's what this is all about. It's about the community, you know, e-bike community, Rad Power Bike community, RadRunner community. So with that, we'll get started. What I'm going to do is answer a few questions or point out some things on some questions that were posed to me so you guys can see them in person. First question I'll tackle is from Tanner. I've posted a video right here, and Tanner had asked about how does this bike do the RadRunner going up hills? And I think that's a great question. It's one of the few things I couldn't find out until I owned one. So I rode around for a while the other day when we didn't have pouring down rain, and I found the biggest, baddest hill I could. So I zipped down it and turned right around and went back up it as quickly as I can. So you guys know I did about 30 miles an hour on the way down, and I averaged about 10 miles an hour on the way up. I was sitting the entire time. I think that's important to know as well. I didn't stand at all, so I sat down, you know, zoomed up the hill about 10 miles an hour for you guys. You can see also in the still shot here the distance traveled and the elevation that I went up. So it was about 1/3 of the mile, whether it was going down or up, about 1/3 of the mile each way. So Tanner, hopefully that helps out, gets you the information you were looking for, gets you a little closer to the purchase for you and your kiddo, and hope you guys have a lot of fun doing that. Next, Jocelyn. Jocelyn had asked a question too anyways about, number one, the mirror that I put on. This is by Hafni. Ordered it on Amazon, and $25, give or take. Probably end up ordering a second one at this point. It's worked out well, so, you know, cheap mirror, but it works out well right now. Second question was more about the seat. You know, she's asking about ordering an upgraded seat. I did that. It arrived. Here it is. Not on the bike. Why is it not on the bike? Well, I'll talk with you about that in just a second. So I just thought I'd share with you the new seat that I ordered is extremely soft and squishy. It's really comfortable. It's not on the bike because I'm too short to have it on the bike. The problem was when I put it on, I realized that I couldn't put my feet on the ground comfortably, meaning when the bike stopped, I had to lean it one way or the other to kind of get my toes on the ground there, and that just doesn't work for me. So I took it off and I ended up modifying the bike. I moved the passenger package forward, as you can see, and I'll go over that here in just a second on what I did there. But I would advise a second seat, you guys. You know, again, I wish I could use this. It just doesn't work. It sits too tall. The seats do come with this, you know, hole for the peg to go in for the post, just like this. This particular post came off of one of my other bikes. You can see maybe that it's tapered, and that's important that you guys know that. You don't just get a seat post that's the 27.2, by the way, in diameter is the diameter around the post. That's what fits this bike. If you get one that's just that all the way up, it will not fit on most bikes. So you want one that's tapered. The other option is to get a seat post that has the rail attachments here, and you guys see those out there as well. If you get that, it allows the bike to slide forward and back a little easier. You can tilt it up and down. Do I recommend a second seat? I do. The original seat, as I showed earlier in a video, you take these 3 bolts off, and this entire post and this metal piece are one. So you can't use this post for a second seat. But yeah, it is very hard, very stiff, and not very comfortable if you're going to be on a longer ride. If you're going to ride it around, you know, the neighborhood or whatever, fine. If you're going to be commuting with this bike from time to time or taking long rides, you know, with the family, you probably want a different seat. At least that's my advice. But Jocelyn, hopefully that helps you out. Drew. Drew had asked me a question about the bag situation. So I told him I had ordered some and I would post something when they came in. They did. These particular bags are made by a company called Mastiff. I ordered them again on Amazon. They were about $20 a piece, so pretty cheap, pretty affordable. They're waterproof. I did not go with the pannier bags, not as of yet. I may have to eventually, but they seem pretty cumbersome, and with the passenger package and my legs and just, you know, just space, I didn't really like the look of that for this bike at this point. I've kind of decided on this army theme here. It seems to be that's the direction it's going. I think these bags tie in really well. And because they're so universal in the amount of pockets and what you can do with them, they've worked out pretty well at this point. So, Drew, Mastiff is the company that these come from, and the pannier bags, if I do end up getting a set, I'll share that with you as well, but right now I did not do that, okay? What I like in particular about these bags is just the amount of versatility, as I stated a moment ago. I upgraded to the best lock I could. I bought this lock, it's from Avis. It's a level 15 X-Max lock. Very, very sturdy. It locks on both sides, so if someone were to cut through one of the locks, they can't just spin the lock. They would have to cut through both of these to get your bike, and I think it said that with a grinder even, it took 9 minutes to get through one side. So if someone's going to sit there for, you know, 15, 18 minutes, knock yourself out, but I don't think they will. Now, if I pop these here, one of the things I want to show about this bag is I've got the post sitting right on the passenger package tag. It works out well that way. But if you release this, let's see if I do there. There we go. There's this kind of sleeve in the front, and this fits perfectly through there, and it just works out so nice. So this goes, it locks, and it just hangs there, and it's secure and it won't rattle around. So if you guys are looking for a nice little bag, I would advise this one. Works good. In addition, for security, I ordered some Kryptonite cable locks, and this is another real good idea for you guys. Let me get one out here, they're stuck together. The reason for these locks or cables are when you put your U-lock onto the bike post or pole to lock it in, you're going to run these through the lock as well, through your front wheel, and the second one I have will go through the bags and stuff. People will take your front wheel. You'll come out from the store and they'll take that. If you have a seat on here, they'll just take your seat. I saw a story of a guy that used to go to college, and every time he would come out of school, no one stole the seat. They would just take it off and throw it, you know, as far as they could, and you'd have to go get it every day. So cable lock through the seat or through your bags, definitely through the wheels. You want to make sure you're going to spend a lot of money on these bikes. You know, you're going to want to make sure they're secure. So, but Drew, hopefully that answers your question, gives you some ideas. On this side, I just simply have the same bag, matching bags, and that additional charging unit that I talked about in one of the other videos. And again, I think that's important, so when you get to your destination, work, let's say, you can charge the battery all day for your commute home. All right, helmet, very quickly. Avis is the helmet that I went with, same as the lock. This particular helmet has a built-in light in the back. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Kind of a handy feature. I also ordered an upgrade light kit for me. This is by ProVision. Very light, bright headlight, you know, as I look around a spot, and then it came with this rear light as well, and all kinds of settings for it, so on and so forth. But the more visibility for you, the safer you can be, the better. And so just thought I'd share that with you guys. You know, this wasn't intended to go to the top of the helmet. I sat down one night and kind of messed around with it and got these two pieces to go around and fit perfectly, so I've been happy with that so far. What else did I upgrade so far? Well, I put a 2400 lumen light on the front of this bike, and move this to the side here. It is crazy bright, so if you're traveling 20-25 miles an hour and you know, you've got things in front of you, you're going to get to them quickly. You want to make sure that you get that light broadcast out as far as possible so that you know what's coming your way. The more light you can provide yourself, the better. So 2400 lumens on this particular light, plus the you know, when you put the front rack on, you mount the light that came with the bike. I've tilted that down to give me light in front, and the light on my helmet. I'm pretty good at this point, I believe, on that aspect. One more thing that I added, it's a horn. So this bike comes with this little bell, cute little bell. I went with this, okay? Lots of options, but it is loud, and you know, that's the point. I don't know that people are gonna hear that from a distance, so they'll definitely hear that. It's 120 decibels, so it's really quite loud. The seat, I think that's what I'll end with here. What I did was I just took the bolts that were from the rear of the bike and I bolted them as I mounted the seat forward. But what was key for me is there's a black ring underneath here with this tensioner for your seat post. I had to wiggle that ring up about 1/4 inch so that it sat flush underneath here to keep the seat from, you know, bouncing as I rode on it. So if you guys decide to do something like this, just bring this up about 1/4 inch and then you can lock it down, and it does stay really secure. Oh yeah, the underlight there. I've got that fun little underlight. The other thing that my son and I ended up doing here was we drilled holes today in the back of this basket, small basket, and was able to get it to work perfectly, and it is not going anywhere. But now what I have is 2 storage bags, the rear basket with an additional light on it, and my front rack, plus my center console. So, you know, if we're going to take a long ride, we're going to do some camping, we're going to do those types of things, you know, head down the lake, I've got a lot of options to put stuff, but primarily for work, you know, you got backpacks and food you're bringing with, and computers and all that kind of stuff. The more that you can give yourself options, I think the better. So, you know, with that, I think that that's enough for today. Again, thank you to everybody. If you didn't know, I'll leave you with this last little bit of information. These upgraded displays you can get from Rad. A question came in, are they universal to all Rad bikes? I believe they are. I don't know for sure. I believe they are, and why I believe that is when you go in here, you have to set the parameters for the wheel size of bike you have so that it can approximate everything correctly. I don't think they do that if it wasn't intended for different bikes. So it's my understanding that it will work. I believe you asked about the Rad Mini, and so this should work out well for that. In addition, there's a USB charger in this upgraded unit. So for my 2400 lumen light here, I can keep that plugged in all the time and charging. I can charge my device, my phone here, anything I want to go and charge, I can do that while on the move. So yeah, lots going on here, you guys. Lots to talk about. Hopefully you guys like the changes I did in the upgrade. It's working for me so far. Any comments, questions, whatever you got, send them my way, and happy riding.